Your school may have a lot of room for kids to play, and that's great. You can help set up the environment so your students want to move and enjoy recess even more. If you haven't done so already, take some time to map and zone the playground. It will help ensure that all kids have a safe place to play and that high-energy games don't dominate. We'll give you a few tips on zoning your playground shortly. First, let's hear from schools on how they approach this.
So we created an active recess hallway or zone so that recess can always start with a grounding. Kids hear each day what the previous day's success was.
And they have something that they need to work on. Okay, today we're going to work on a zero voice from the playground door to the cafeteria door so that other kids can learn.
We revisit the pride expectations. We revisit what active recess means. So as they're in the active recess zone or hallway, the kids get to think, okay, that zone's open, that's where I want to go. They know if they need to grab a ball. They know they need to get partners. They know that type of thing, and they can set themselves up for that success.
We found an aerial shot of our playground and we blew it up and we started looking at it and said, okay, it makes sense that if we want to have a game of the day, it would happen here. Our playground is zoned out and our recess teachers or recess supervisors have different zones and different responsibilities so that they can learn all the names of the kids that they're interacting with.
Ensure your playground has painted lines for games like foursquare, kickball, etc. You can even make painting the lines a capstone project for older students and volunteers. Have a designated buddy bench so everyone has a group or buddy to play with. Let's see how we can zone the playground. A few tips before we get started. Your map should be simple and easy to understand. Color coding can help with understanding. Use technology if it's available, and check with your colleagues to see if they can help. The first step, assess current playground space to identify available space, equipment, and safety concerns. Then consider what you want to include in the map. Play zones for choice and imagination play, stationary and mobile equipment, and group games, a convenient spot to collect equipment, a zone for quiet activity groups, and other zones popular for your students.
The zones help us communicate to the students. These are the ones that are open today that you get to play on. They know in the spring of the year when our green area is swampy, we don't go on it. It becomes closed for that reason. It also lets kids know, in this zone, this is what I do. When I'm in the foretop forest, I don't go up slides, I go down slides. So each zone has an expectation to it, and the kids know that expectation.
Start with a site map from the internet. Google Earth can be an option. Then mark paved areas, grassy fields, gardens, woods, and sidewalks on that map. Add permanent playground fixtures, painted game markings, fences, shrubs or trees, and the overall recess perimeter. If boundaries aren't marked on your playground, now is the time to have a plan for that. Use spray chalk, paint, or cones. Mark areas for younger children who need closer supervision. Consider creating a roughly 10-foot out-of-bounds area between school buildings and playground to stop children from playing next to windows. Use the map to highlight activity zones and boundaries. An area for ball games, ideally far enough away from the building to avoid balls ending up on a roof or breaking windows. A foursquare area, an area for stationary games such as jump rope or hula hoop, a group game area. Your goal is to have this area be a grassy field. If this area is a paved surface, adapt playground expectations appropriately to ensure safety. Mark quiet activity zones, possibly including a yoga or stretching zone. Mark walking circuits or walk and talk paths, often outside the perimeter. Add a science nature discovery zone. As part of getting your area ready, it's important to identify equipment considerations during recess. Here are some tips. Have an identified equipment distribution and collection point. Store equipment in easily accessible bins or wheeled carts. Label all equipment with a permanent marker. Ensure that equipment is age appropriate. Teach sharing and trading equipment. Teach kids rules for returning equipment at the end of recess. have a clear signal when it's equipment collection time, have a plan for maintenance and replacement of equipment, store equipment in a safe place when not at use. Finally, print out large posters of the activity maps and post them near the playground and in hallways that lead to the playground. If posters are laminated, play areas or changes can be marked directly on the map. Create electronic versions that can be projected for the class when teaching expectations. This is your first step in mapping your playground and setting your recess up for success.